Autumn has arrived, so stop thinking about summer. These words blew silently through my heart like a cold breeze. Memories of summer, those warm, vibrant days, even stained with sweat and tears, are gradually fading. The leaves are turning yellow, the wind is cool, and even the air smells of desolation. What should have turned yellow has turned yellow. What should have changed has changed. Only we remain, clinging to those lost fragments, unwilling to let go. How many times have I stared blankly at the falling leaves outside the window, imagining their descent? They twirl and flutter gently, eventually returning to the earth, a final farewell to life. But the details in my heart are like nails, deeply engraved in my heart, lingering. Some say details are the spice of life, tenderness that touches us, but also a sharp blade that can tear us apart, that unspoken apology, that cold glance, that unanswered text message. Details so small, yet they weigh heavily on my heart. It became the reason we couldn't sleep at night. The autumn breeze rustled through the window lattice, bringing a hint of coolness. I suddenly realized that the true pain wasn't the catastrophic events, but the details that accumulated day after day, like tiny grains of sand, gradually wearing away our souls. This reminded me of Lao Tzu's words: "Great perfection seems incomplete, yet its usefulness is never exhausted. Great abundance seems empty, yet its usefulness is endless." Sometimes, a perfect appearance can't mask the emptiness within, just as our attachment to the past can't mask the passage of time. I began to try to view these details through the lens of Taoism, learning to govern by inaction, neither clinging to things nor rejecting them, adapting to change, accepting the impermanence of reality. Because true power lies not in controlling the outside world, but in achieving inner peace. In life, details can sometimes be like a double-edged sword, gently piercing your heart, but also harshly opening your wounds. I remember that night when my phone screen lit up, revealing her missed call. At that moment, time seemed to freeze, and memories flooded back. "That summer afternoon," she said, "it's okay." Yet it concealed a deep sense of helplessness. That autumn morning, her unspoken farewell crystallized into a bones-in chilling chill. In the details, details can be moving, yet also devastating. They serve as a magnifying glass for our souls, magnifying every tiny emotion to its fullest, clearly revealing our longing and pain. Once, I sat alone in a corner of a cafe, watching the fallen leaves drift outside the window, recalling unfinished conversations and missed moments. Those details, like a gentle rain, moistened my heart, yet also soaked through my emotional defenses. It seemed only the details could hold the unbearable pain within me. Taoism teaches us to do nothing, yet achieve everything. This isn't about giving up, but about facing things with a receptive heart. We don't need to dwell on details, but rather learn to accept them with equanimity. Even painful details can become part of life, teaching us to grow. So, I began to try to find different meanings in the details. Perhaps her "it's okay" was a sign of helplessness, not rejection, Perhaps she was busy facing her own struggles with that missed call. Trying to understand, trying to let go of my obsession with details, my heart gradually softened. However, letting go isn't easy. Whenever the night is quiet, that conversation keeps replaying in my mind. Details bind me like invisible chains. Pain and nostalgia intertwine into an invisible web, suffocating me. As Lao Tzu said, misfortune often lies at the root of good fortune, and good fortune lies at the root of misfortune. Pain often hides opportunities for growth. The pain in the details may be the door to inner wisdom. I've learned to talk to myself, listening gently to my inner voice as if it were an old friend, not rushing to judge or avoid it. Details are no longer blades, but bridges to self, day understanding and self-day healing. Autumn's changes are a revelation from nature. The falling of leaves is not the end, but the beginning of a new life. Just as I've learned to accept the pain brought by details, I've also learned to believe that pain will eventually become nourishment for life, allowing me to walk more steadily and easily on the road ahead. Autumn has arrived, and the air has taken on a cooler edge. Yellow leaves cover the path, and the wind carries a sense of solemnity and tranquility. Autumn feels like nature's farewell to life. It's also a silent baptism. I often stroll alone during this season, letting the fallen leaves gently drift by my feet. They yellow, become brittle, and eventually return to the dust, nurturing the green buds of the coming year. This is the law of nature, the true essence of the Taoist principle of following nature. Accept change, don't resist, don't struggle. Looking back, I'm like that leaf, having experienced countless passionate and arduous summers, only to eventually enter the quiet of autumn. Past obsessions and pain, like fallen leaves, are irretrievable. The tighter you hold on, the more they shatter. I once tried to resist change with willpower, clinging to those details, those feelings, but all I got was spiritual exhaustion and loneliness, until I gradually understood that true wisdom lies in acceptance of my past fragility, and acceptance of the changes and impermanence before me. I remember one night, lying in bed, reminiscing about past arguments and misunderstandings, my heart filled with anger and resentment. The wind blowing in from the window brought the crisp and distant sound of falling leaves. At that moment, I suddenly felt a sense of relief. It turns out that pain is part of life. I don't have to treat it as an enemy. So I began to learn to let go. Let go of those obsessions with details. Let go of the expectation of perfection. And even let go of self-same criticism. Just as the autumn wind blows away the fallen leaves, it also blows away the haze in our hearts. There are so many things in life that are beyond our control, but what we can truly control is our own state of mind. Taoism says, knowing contentment is not humiliation. Knowing when to stop is not danger. This allows for long, day-term success. Knowing how to be satisfied and how to stop prevents loss. Perhaps you've experienced moments like this before. In the dead of night, your heart is swirling with turmoil, a mixture of pain, helplessness, and loneliness. But please believe that these are all necessary steps in growth. Every falling leaf is a token of gratitude and a farewell to life. Letting go is not forgetting, but learning to reconcile. It's about giving yourself a peaceful sky, allowing your soul to breathe freely. Autumn taught me that all change is for a better rebirth. No matter how difficult the past may be to let go, the future still holds infinite possibilities. The autumn breeze gently blows by the sound of falling leaves seems to speak of the passage of life. Perhaps you too have gazed out the window, the golden leaves one morning, feeling an indescribable pain and helplessness. Those details that once captivated your heart have now become a lingering knot, difficult to let go. But you know, letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means giving yourself a peaceful space. Just like autumn leaves, they eventually return to their roots, their departure ushering in new life. You can allow yourself to be tired and vulnerable, but you must also be gentle with yourself, slowly learning to find peace in loss. Perhaps it's that missed call that brings you heart-to-cheek, or perhaps it's that missed hug that brings you regret. Regardless, time will gently cleanse everything. All you need is a willingness to give yourself some space and slowly emerge from the emotional fog. This isn't simply letting go, but a delicate process of self-same cultivation. It's planting a warm seed deep within your heart, waiting for the arrival of spring, true freedom. It's never about avoiding pain, but about choosing to be gentle with yourself, even in the midst of it. Details may break our hearts, but they also allow us to more truly experience the depth and warmth of life. Have you ever tossed and turned over those lingering details? Do those recurring sounds and images leave you feeling exhausted and helpless? Perhaps letting go isn't forgetting, but rather continuing to love yourself in a different way. Feel free to share your stories and feelings in the comments section. I'm the answer. I'm here to accompany you in your journey of enlightenment, gently protecting every soul striving to let go of struggle and move forward. So, true freedom isn't about being free from worries, but about being able to coexist with everything. What are your thoughts?